Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Well, today something brand new from ICM. Despite all their recent setbacks and real trauma they've been through, they've continued to bring us out some really interesting kits and more to come. But today it's drone hunters, very topical over there of course. We've got the Humvee 35th scale. They're calling it a diorama set as well, cheeky devils. But it is, isn't it? Because they've added a load of figures. It's true. Somebody said to me, it's not a diorama set, there's not a diorama. Well, it depends what you call diorama. It's to build a diorama, that's the way ICM usually refer to it. So they call it DS3531. So it's the American Humvee, and we've got three of the AFU's troopers here. And one of them looks like he's got a Stinger missile. I think that's a Stinger, anti-aircraft manpad. Nasty, that's going to do the job. Might almost be, I think when they say drones, they're talking about big drones here. Not the little FPV jobbies, you know. Because I think the manpad is certainly bring down helicopters and fighter jets with that, never mind drones. Okay, let's have a look then. 35th scale, it says it's multi-purpose Humvee M1097A2 with the DSKHM machine gun, that's their heavy machine gun, plus gunner, observer with binoculars and manpads operator. Whoa. Vehicle model with accurate proportions and highly detailed body and cabin elements. Figures with detailed modern Ukrainian soldier uniforms and equipment. Perfect for creating modern combat diorama scenes, which is why they call it a diorama scene. Excellent. Excuse me. I just want to say, I've just been having some of this, and yes, it's very refreshing, but it's also got a lot of gas in it. And I've just immediately thought, I regret this already. This was a bad choice. You know, a cup of tea. Anyway, sorry, it's a very gassy drink, isn't it? I don't have it very often, things like this, but I do enjoy the original Coke. It's nice. Anyway, it says length 138mm. It's got 171 parts in the Humvee, 20 parts for the machine gun, 20 parts, and the support tripod, and 130 parts for the four figures. 130 parts, really? Good lord! So how many's that you've got in here then? You've got 30. That's 200, 300. That's like 330 parts in total. It's quite a lot of parts, really. And it's a fairly pocket money kit, this as well. It's only, I think they only retail about 20, 28, 29 pounds. So a lot for your money. Let's have a look. So you see, you got your Humvee with your heavy duty machine gun, and then you've got your guy with his binoculars. Sorry, the guy that's first guy's get this right. First guy's operating the machine gun. Second guy's got the binoculars, spotting with his machine gun, and then finally you've got your manpad operator with his Stinger missile over his shoulder, which will bring down most things at medium to low level. Yeah, if he gets you in his sights, you had it basically, to be quite honest. So let's have a look at what we got. The latest of ICM's wonders. I have to say again, I recently talked about kits of the year is coming up. I can tell you that ICM is my manufacturer of the year. It doesn't matter what anybody else brings out, it's not going to beat them. It's not any bias at all, nothing like that, but they've carried on producing new kits throughout this traumatic period, especially when they've been hit by a missile strike. Instant winner. Okay. There's no discussion really. Nobody else can compete with that sort of adverse conditions, you know. Right, let's have a look then. So we've got our figures and our... Oh, these look really nice, I've got to say. So we've got our figures and our manpads and our heavy machine gun over here, and then we've got the actual vehicle over here. Now I have seen the Humvee before, so I may not go into total detail on the Humvee. We may keep it a bit brief if we can. Is that going to stay up for me or not? Stay up, is it? Go on. Right, it says here, drone hunters. Drones have become a crucial element of modern warfare, fundamentally changing combat operations. Today, hundreds or even thousands of drones are deployed in a single day of fighting. It's incredible, isn't it? It's like, this is what my Auntie Margaret was talking about in the recent, well, it wasn't filmed recently, but the recent video I published. She predicted that. She's no longer with us, sadly, but she predicted it, 11 years ago, that there are going to be drones fighting drones, and she was right. Anyway, it goes on to say, kamikaze drones, aerial strike vehicles, present a significant danger. These range from small units weighing just a few kilograms to large platforms approaching the size of an aircraft. The larger drones are particularly threatening because they target rear areas with limited traditional air defence coverage. To counter this threat, Ukraine has established mobile fire groups nicknamed the Drone Hunters. These units operate from various vehicles, primarily pickups, but also military vehicles equipped with large caliber machine guns or small caliber anti-aircraft guns. The groups are sometimes reinforced with man-portable air defence or manpad systems operators. While most mobile fire groups consist of trained military personnel, some are also formed by volunteers. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing. So, let's have a look then. What have we got here? Something a bit different. And if you enjoy your modelling and you are currently following this very unfortunate conflict, you might well want to get yourself your hands on this particular kit, because it's very, very germane to this particular conflict. Here we go with the decals. Oops, get there at the end. There we go. I think all the decals are on the Humvee, aren't they, actually, rather than on the men. There we go. Some quite small ones, actually, surprising. They look very nice. And then we've got our instrucciones, which we'll go through this fairly quickly, because I say we've seen this. We've actually seen the Humvee before. You can see in this case that we've got these extra sprues. Is that separate? So that's just for vehicle sprues. Yes. And then H3 is the one with, says something else. What's that H3, is it? H3, yeah, okay. So that's the. It actually doesn't show all the sprues. It actually doesn't show everything because it doesn't show the weapon sprue. Interestingly, why have you done that then? You don't show the weapon sprue there. That's a slight. Oh, it's over here. That's kind of confusing the way they've laid that out. Actually, you have got the weapon sprue, but it's over here. But then they made a big thing about this one in a different colour. Anyway, building up your chassis rail. In fact, the chassis comes as one complete piece. Is that right? I don't remember that. Does the chassis come complete, built up? I didn't know it was like that. 821, it does. So it's like the chassis is one completed section, all of its own. I'll have a look at that in a minute. And yes, so you build up your chassis and, well, you don't have to build it up, it's already built up for you, which is the point really. Very unusual, I don't remember that. So it's like a ladder chassis, it's in one mounted piece. Adding your exhausts, and then you're going to start working on your engine and your exhausts. Manifold, I should say, headers. Then we've got our engine over here. We're going to put the fan belt on it and then attach the transmission unit, transfer box, or differential, isn't it really? Then you're going to put that over underneath the insert it through the chassis underneath, and then add your exhaust system. Then you've got your drive shafts from your differential coming out with the universal joints on it. And then we've got the main sort of wishbones, so to speak. Has it got wishbones, or are they? How would you call them wishbones? They look like independent wishbones, don't they? To be fair, I think I made this comment when I did the review of the Humvee the first time, saying it was like a little F1 car, the way they designed it. It seems to have independent suspension rather than leaf springs, you know. And then we've got the drive shaft coming out between the differential and the transfer box there. rather from the transfer box to the differential, I should say. Same at the other end, because it's obviously a four-wheel drive vehicle. So you get from the transfer box, it then goes to both axles, front and rear. Same setup with your suspension. Yes, we've got coil springs there, so it is an independent suspension, isn't it? Four separate coil springs going in here, and you've got a couple of anti-roll bars, it looks like, at the back. Then you've got your side plates going on. Sorry, not the side plate, it was the rear bumper, I should say. Bumper plate. And then we've got what looks like the engine bay. Is it the engine bay? Yeah, the engine bay at the front. Wheels and tyres coming in here. Looks like there might be rubber. Yeah, the rubber. That's right, I remember. And you're building up your cab. You get your front scuttle with all the instruments on it. And you've got your steering wheel, and all your dials and gauges. Quite a few decals to put in there. Then over here we've got, looks like it's the, is that the brake reservoir? I think it is. I think it's the brake reservoir. Again, unfortunately ICM don't label anything. It looks a little bit tricky to follow. Then you've got your windscreen's going to go in here. And you've got your sunshades, sun visors going in there as well here. And then we've got a couple of stowage boxes, and you've got what looks like, oh, it's the gear selector. Gear selector and high and low range gears for the 4x4. Then we're going to put the sides on, almost like a Jeep, isn't it, the way it's got the sides. Seats going in here. And you've got your side, the side bodywork, so it's very Jeep-like. And you've got some, like a stowage area there, which can double up as seats that you sit on. The back sort of has a little flip-down door. You've got your roof. Is that the roof? Sorry, the bonnet. It just looks a bit weird the way they presented that. It's the bonnet, but it's upside down. So you put in your fixtures and fittings in, and your grills and your headlights are going in there. And then we've got towing eyes, bringing in your bonnet onto the top of the chassis on the front of the engine. And we've got the towing eye. Is that the other side of the towing eye? Is that the back? Is that the side, in fact? I'm a little bit confused about what this is. Yeah, it's just the reverse side of it. That goes on the front, so it can be towed. Then you've got your doors coming in, and your sort of shielding, flip down shielding at the side. Rear viewing the cab's rear bulkhead with the window in it. And then the roof coming down. Building up your doors. Flip down sides, they sort of flick up like just a rail really, isn't it? So that nobody falls out. Pop your doors on, and that's almost it. Apart from when you've got your machine gun still to go on here, so you've got machine gun mounting. The DS3531, and its support, which is like a tripod almost. Mounting, let's call it. Looks like a big heavy caliber lethal weapon. I think it's a 20 cal or 25 cal. And then finally, you just got your paint guide. So you can see there, it's all made up. Quite a lot of firepower there. And then on the back, we've got our three figures. All very nice indeed, I'd say. Right. So let's have a look at the plastic and see what we have got. He says, tried to retain his dignity. Trying to retain his decals, I should say. Right, let's get that there. Okay. Look at the figures last time. That'll be the wow factor of figures. It's blooming Coca-Cola. The last time I had that and then go and do filming afterwards too. Okay, it's just like a drink of gas. Remember that at Christmas. Oh, it's nice though, isn't it? Look at this. Here we go. So this is these side rails I talked about. Whoops. The side rails I talked about. You've got your rear bulkhead, the rear wall with the window in it there for the cab, and then you've got your doors here and your roof. Here's these flick down sort of rails that go around the load area at the back to keep everything and everybody in. It's nice, isn't it? It's even got like, I don't know if you can tell this, it's got like wood graining in the wood. That's very cool the way they've done it. Wood graining. Like that, very good. Then we've got the big sprue which involves... Sorry, let's go the other way around. Let's go to this one because this is the one that had me slightly confused at the start. So it is indeed a ladder, a pre-made ladder chassis in one piece. Complete even with the wishbones built into it. Look at that. That's very cool. I think it'd be a relatively quick build. It's not got too many parts, this one. Then you've got the various sort of plated areas and the inner wheel mudguards, arches. And then here you've got the outer bodywork over the arches, and you've got your rear valance where your lights are, and over here you've got the front scuttle, complete with the built-in mirror. The mirrors sort of act as a handrail almost, don't they? These big beefy mirrors. That's what your wipers will be across the top, of course. So that's good. I'm liking that one. Then we get to this one, which has got all the engine components, and it's nice the way they've done this. Actually, look at, to zoom in for this. Look at these universal joints coming out of the differential. That's nicely done, isn't it? That is very cool. You can see the rubber CV joints, can't you? That's really good. Then you got your front radiator grille and headlights. You got the back of your differential here. And you got a couple of the roof rails, the support rails for the. I think that's for the inside of the cabin. And you got various sort of anti-roll bars and parts of the underside of the suspension chassis. And then over here we've even got our steering column. Is that the steering column? Is that the universal joint? No, it's the universal drive joint. Sorry, part of the prop shaft, if you like. You got your exhaust headers there, one there, other one here. And speaking of exhaust, you've got the exhaust system there. Over here you've got your steering wheel and your fan belt, complete with pulleys. Over here you got your suspension, wishbones, and then various tiny, very small parts. Over here on this sprue we have got the main sort of floor of the chassis, so to speak, and then you've got your main bonnet area here. Got your cooling fan for the radiator there. And then we have the side plates, make up the body panel down the side. On the other side you can see it's got the filler tank, filler cap for the petrol along there. Nice sprue, no flash, all very clean, super. Over here you got your front scuttle with your instrument panel. And then there is a double sprue which has got on it the seats. Get to focus. The seats, the springs, wheels, and one or two things like towing eyes, etc. Very nice. Two of those. Then we have got some clear parts. If you just bear with me a second, I'm going to just rearrange things slightly and rebag what we've already seen so I don't mix them up. I should get them in the right order. It's a nice kit though, this Humvee. It looks fairly straightforward in theory. But it all looks to be nicely put together. And not too many parts, you know, they haven't gone crazy with the part count. It's not like a, you know, Mini Art built one of these. I don't think what it would look like. There'd be dozens and dozens of sprue. You just know they would. Okay, let's put that over there. I'm not sure I'm going to get these out of the bag actually, because there's not much to see, because they are just flat. So this is just the windows for, in my hand is the windows, the main windscreen. As I say, it's just a flat piece, and we know their clear parts are absolutely gorgeous. So there's nothing to see here really. And then the same in the doors. And they are very nice clear parts, so rather than fiddling around trying to get those open. Well, let's see. Let's have a look at these tyres though, because these can be a bit more critical in terms of the kit overall. Oh, they've done this really nicely. So look at the treads here. That's really, really nice. You know, for an injection moulded rubber tyre. They don't get a lot better than that, do they? I think we should be quite pleased with those. Those are really, very good indeed. Now, the real bit we want to get to, which is what differentiates this kit from others, is the figures and their associated equipment that comes with them. Let's get into it. Oh, one piece that's off the sprue there. What's that? Not even sure what that is actually. I think it might be part of the mounting for the machine gun. Is it? Definitely got a piece off the sprue. Why does it make me think it comes off this one? Anyway, we won't worry about it too much. Let me show you the weapon sprue, because I think you're going to be very impressed by this. It's just epic. Does it actually give a guide though? It didn't seem to give a guide to the weapons, did it? Which is a little bit of oddity. No. That is an ICM weapons set, I think, for the AFU, but they don't seem to have given any clear instruction about what the weapons are. It's almost like, we have seen this before, this sprue. It's almost like this has been included as a bonus, but it's not actually part of the kit as listed. This is an extra bonus. This is the AFU weapons set. I've seen it before, I've reviewed it. Look, I'll show you. This is a bonus. Now suddenly this looks like even better value than it did before. Check this out. So you've got RPG here. Look closely here. Rocket propelled grenade, you can see them here. Then you've got the Manpad Stinger, which is there. There's a few more bits that have to be glued on. You've got a 50 cal machine gun, which is there. The MG43, or whatever they call it now, that one, in the middle. Then you've got a bipod. Oh, okay, that's the bit that's broken off here. I've just realised this is where the broken part is. It's the foot of this bipod. That's what it is. Recognise it now. Now over here, then we've actually got the rocket propelled grenade here. The actual launcher itself, now dead centre in the image, which is epic. I love that. Some amazing stuff here. Look at this. You've got machine gun feed belts over here. Look at those. Oh my goodness. And here's the machine gun. It doesn't actually detail, but yeah, this is basically the Ukrainian heavy weapons set, or medium weapons set, shall we call them. These are even an FN rifle like the British Army used to use. Places like Northern Ireland and the British Army in the 1970s, 80s. Certainly in the 70s. Wow. And then over here we've got one of their sniping rifles, complete with a scope. Turn it upside down, and we've got the FN, and then we've got like an AR-15, isn't it? Is that an AR-15 here? Looks like one, doesn't it? Yeah, that's another FN. I just realised that's another FN in the centre of the screen now. So you've got loads of weapons on here. It's an absolute... And you've got AK-47. Or do they call it KR-47 now? Something like that, don't they? It's the modern version of the AK-47. You've got them as well. Another bipod at the bottom. Ah, it's just a feast of weapons. It's a weapons fest, this is. That is a very impressive sprue, I've got to say. So many weapons on it that I didn't anticipate, not mentioned in the instructions. Here's the weapon that we were promised, which is the big heavy machine gun. I think is a 20 cal, isn't it? It's almost like cannon, isn't it? Complete with like a pedestal stand. Absolutely fantastic. Let's just zoom in a bit closer. Wow. That's very, very nice. Huh. Here's your pedestal stand. Looks like a missile, doesn't it, actually? Looks like a Sparrow missile, the back end of a Sparrow missile. That's very impressive indeed. Then we have a smaller sprue with yet more weapons on it. So again, you know, we seem to have got an absolute... an orgy of weapons, you might call it. There's a whole lot of handheld weapons here. You've got all sorts. Is that MP3? Is that based on MP3? I'm not sure. Is that a later version of the KR-47? I'm just struggling with it a little bit. You've even got like a Law's rocket there, a little bazooka. You've got a couple of the helmets here. Fantastic. Bayonets here. Look at those bayonets. Lethal. Deadly. Lovely sprue. And then last but not least, we've got the figures. So let's have a look at these. So, and these are bang up to date. We know these are new figures that have come through, new tool. So you got some really good contouring there. They've got like a flat jacket on. Looks really nice. Here's your guy's face. So this is the guy with the binoculars, the spotter. That's a fantastic set, that is. Really good. And then the other two guys. So this end on the left, we're looking at now, this is the chap with the man pad. You can tell by the positioning of his arms. Firing the man pad. I've got the hand separate here, so you can position it. Look at that. And then over on the other side, here we've got the one that's operating the big heavy machine gun. Yeah. So you can see he's got his arm bent there to operate the heavy gun. And again, like a flat jacket. And we've got his face there as well, haven't we? Very nice. Some good detail on these hands and things, aren't there? Look at that. The way he's gripping. See the other face here. And the camera's locked its crosshairs onto that because it knows it's a face. I know I always say this, but it's amazing how sensitive the camera is. It recognises a human face instantly. Amazing. On this side, it's this one that's the face. He's got goggles on. Now this is interesting because, just going back to what I said, the camera can't lock onto that. The goggles have confused it. It's not locking on. Not at all. When I do it the other way around, locks on him. It locks the crosshairs on immediately because it recognises the profile of a human face. Very interesting. Well, that's a cracking set, isn't it? Actually, that's really, really nice. Look at these. The reverse side of the. So that's the front of the tunic, and that's the back of it. What a superb set that is! Got to say, that's absolutely brilliant. Me like you this one. You seem to get a lot in this box for your money, to be quite honest. What did I say? 28, 30 quid. It's a lot of kit for 30 quid. It really is. Especially when you get these weapons. It's just like every weapon under the sun. You've got FNs and AK-47s. Astonishing array, really. All that you get. That big sprue though with the heavy weapons set, that is definitely like a bonus. Which isn't mentioned. It's not mentioned on the box. It's not mentioned in the instructions, and it's not mentioned in the artwork. That is definitely something worth having. Why have we got a problem here? What's the problem here, folks? Got it. We're in. Sorted. A fantastic set that. I've completely exceeded my expectations. I thought it'd be going to be okay, you know, good. But I didn't think it'd be quite as exciting as it was. You've got tons of weapons in it. Excellent. I'm going to give it 10 out of 10. There's nothing not to like. There's no reason not to give it 10 out of 10, really. They could be a bit clearer, the instructions, but you know, for the money that they're pushing these out at, it's such a lot for your money. Clean mouldings, nice little weapon set, absolutely brilliant. By the way, I was given, is it Fox Mop? There's a company called Fox Models. They gave us a little bag each of free at the end of Sunday afternoon. They were giving away these little bags of AK-47s, 35th scale ones, which was very cool, very nice of them. So that would go with that set beautifully, to be honest. Really good, enjoyed that very much. Right, well anyway, that's you go. 10 out of 10, makes it easy. My job is easy when it's as good as that, isn't it? I don't have to really think about it too much. There's just nothing not to like. Well done, ICM, really nice set. And thank you very much for providing the kits. Looking forward to seeing more of that stuff in the very near future. Hope you'll give me a 10 out of 10 as well. And give us a thumbs up. It's very important we get a like. Don't forget to subscribe, which is very important as well. Don't forget not to drink Coca-Cola before you're going to do any public speaking. Don't recommend that at all. Even though it was very nice. I'll learn my lesson anyway. Anyway, thanks to ICM. Thanks you to all of you for watching the show. Hope you thought it was interesting. And I'll be back soon with some more. Until then, look after yourselves. Stay well, stay safe. Thanks a lot. And bye for now.